Let's sit back comfortably and make the body as still as possible. Refuse the urge to move, to shift. The mind plays the game of ordering us constantly. Let's give a firm command to the mind. My dear mind, you are my chief assistant, and I, the master, command you that I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to be pulled to look at the phone, to think about the to-do list or the people in my life. Everything can wait. I've kept myself waiting for too long. So I command you to withdraw yourself from everything and dive within. In front of me, I see stormy conditions, and I also see a lighthouse standing tall and firm, unwavering. Many times in our lives, there are storms that carry us away, drift us away. They drain our energy. We seem lost, aimless. How do I, the ship, sail smoothly through these storms? People in the family sometimes seem to disturb me, or maybe I choose to get disturbed by their words and behaviors. The external storm causes me to create an inner storm. And when the water gets inside the ship, it only sinks. So how do I prevent this outer storm from not causing an inner storm? How do I stay safe when I'm surrounded by storms everywhere? It seems so hard at times. let's ask ourselves, is it really hard, or have we made it hard? A lighthouse stays up above and is undisturbed by its surroundings. It remembers its responsibility is to spread light so that people who are lost can find their way. It does not give them directions, but it shows light. The light enables others to stay safe. So as a parent, what is my role? Am I being the lighthouse, or am I caught up in the ship? We are trying too hard to fix everyone's life, and we lose our light, the essence of our life. So let's detach ourselves from this life, from this physical world, where I'm trying to experience everything through the body, through my relations, through my tasks, through my achievements. I'm a spiritual being, and I need to keep my spiritual light, my spiritual awareness, my spiritual energy intact. Only then can I stay tall and firm, grounded. My inner stability, my inner light will guide many to the shores of their own inner stability. I'm not here to fix anyone. I'm here to show away my spiritual light, that I am peace, I am love, I am joy. This is the real me. When I am stabilized in my truth, I pull many towards their own truth. The emotional storms are not the soul's truth. The soul is beyond disturbance. It is naturally pure and silent, just like its eternal parent, the ocean of silence, God. I'm a godlike being. divine, full of perfection. Welcome everyone to today's class on raising emotionally healthy kids. Today we will focus on boosting emotional immunity of family. So first class we did spend some time trying to understand what does it mean to be really emotionally healthy. And then last class we were talking about the climate. What is the climate? To be aware, it's very important to be aware of what is the climate inside the house. And once we understand the climate of the house, how do I keep myself protected? So we will kind of go through some of the storms that cause disturbances in our home. As you all might have already heard a few times if you've attended few different events at Brahma Kumaris, our every thought travels like a vibration, and that vibration could have high frequency or low frequency. The positive and elevated thoughts are high frequency. They create a very powerful aura in the house. The matter absorbs the vibrations generated by the soul. So whatever vibrations are being generated by the human souls in that house, the whole house is engulfed by it. So I need to be very careful. First of all, what is the climate? What is my contribution to the climate of the house? And then what can I do to remain safe and bring others also to that safety? So that could be variety of issues. Because we are doing parent child here, we are talking mainly about the kids, what kinds of storms they might be going through. So we started talking about how there could be a storm of anger in the kids. And sometimes because we are running too fast, so busy and caught up at work, trying to do too many things, and wanting to do a lot of things with kids as well, our analysis of the problem is very at the superficial basic level. So till we don't understand really the root cause of each of these storms that come within the kids' minds, we are not able to fully resolve it. So typically, if a child is, showing the symptoms of being angry, these are all symptoms, whether it's irritation, jealousy, angry, these are all the siblings of the anger storm. And the root cause, what is the reason that the child is getting angry? Obviously, it is not feeling, the child is not feeling love, care, and attention. It feels it should get a lot more and it is not getting. And indeed, this is because of the lack of awareness of how fantastic soul is, that soul needs nothing from outside. So these are certain things, spirituality taught to kids takes them a very long way. We should certainly educate them and understand, the complete climate report of the anger. What are the conditions when this anger kicks in? How long this has been going on? Is it very rare? Did it recently start? Has it always been there? And when does this storm become prominent? So this is kind of really evaluating everything at a more deeper level. We can't superficially decide things and quickly try to scold them off or finish off the storm. And also check, does this storm that the kid is going through have an impact on me as a parent? This is like really quickly doing a check mark. Do I start judging the kid? Man, this kid, I don't know what's up to him, what kind of genes he's gotten, where he's come from. I don't understand him. He is so mean, or blah, blah. Has the mind started judging and analyzing the child? Am I getting irritated? I have to check my state of mind as well. Do I get irritated immediately? Do I start lashing back? I hold on for some time and then I start lashing back, and I give myself the excuse, I held myself back, and I've been holding myself back for almost a week. Now this crosses all boundaries. So I give myself the permission to get mad because they got mad for a week. Do I also start speaking back rudely, copying them? And do I then start setting a lot more boundaries? Do I become too strict? And then do I give up hope that this child will never learn how to be kind and polite? This is just a rude and a rash kid. Don't know where he's come from. So we every kind of, either we are making a choice at every moment, letting their emotions disturb us, spoiling the aura, the climate of the house, or we have a choice to remain, build our immunity so that that emotion, that downpour does not affect me. It's only at Brahma Kumaris I have heard that even one person wanting to stay emotionally healthy, and it's that person is not wanting to change anyone. They are not doing it to show off to anyone. They're not doing so that others will change. The reason they are doing it is because they've understood the importance of emotional health. They've understood that how when they say healthy, they remain safe, the chances of other coming under that safety is very high. The vibrations automatically will attract them to their own healthy state. Then there are, other things that we look into kids that disturb parents a lot is that carelessness. This attitude where they don't seem to value anything, too lazy, not understanding the value of the money, the time, all the facilities, the love, the attention, every facility they are getting from the parents, just seem to not care much at all. And we all know what the symptoms are. They are very disorganized. They prioritize things incorrectly. They'll first try playing, chit chatting. Homework comes much later in the night. Then they end up staying very late. Many times they're not able to finish their task. To them, it's almost as if the symptoms appear to us as nothing seems to matter to them. So this is all we are seeing. We need to understand, indeed, this problem is a huge sign of being very lazy, distracted, don't seem to have any aim. So we need to check what is causing this. Indeed, we know it is unawareness of the value of the self, the purpose, the time, their potential. They are clueless. But we also need to do an internal check. Have I created such a environment in the house where everything is coming to them too easily? Have I been too lenient? Have I been little lazy in setting up a proper schedule because I didn't want to deal with their tantrums, so I let them do whatever they want? There are many parents who will allow their kids to use the phone, the TV so that they can eat. Very unknowingly, we somehow instill these kind of incorrect habits because we want to make our jobs very easy. Indeed, as a parent, it does get little tiring because there is a lot to do, for especially for if both the parents are very, very occupied in office and at home. This then starts showing up where we become lenient, where we want to get things done fast. So we start, and the kid really gets it. They're like, if they show a little bit of tantrum, the parent will give away whatever they need. So they start banking on to those kinds of issues that we have. And then this kind of symptoms do arise. And so we need to check I believe it is very important, at least for one parent, to have a little bit of a lighter job. And if you can't, at least we should set the right expectations at work that we can't go beyond that 8 to 9 hours. Otherwise, it's very hard to work with the kids at a deeper level. If we just work at the symptom level, all we will do is yell, give them lectures. You shouldn't be doing this. You should not be sleeping. You should not be watching. This doesn't last us long. In fact, after some time, their ears immediately shut the moment we start talking. They have listened enough from us. So the report here is really, again, we need to check, when does this storm get prominent? When do they get very, very careless? To try and understand, how did this stem into my child? Does this symptom exasperate during certain conditions? These things help us understand the root cause of the storm better. As a parent, we owe it to at least understand the entire thing a bit better. And then also again measure, am I getting irritated? Do I start feeling stress? Do I start lecturing the kid? Do I get obsessed and set up even more boundaries, take away a lot of their privileges? And then do I give up hope? It's pretty much the same kind of report that we need to run, because really the most important thing is the storm should not have an impact on me. I need to understand the storm fully just so that I can remain safe, but I also want to see what has caused this storm to erupt in my child, and can I do anything at all to help? And one could be where we start lecturing, and especially with teenagers, it doesn't work, where we start lecturing them on the importance of the studies, or we start showing them through being a very good role model. Then our kids also go through the storms of stress. Many folks, I think here in California, some of the high schools or even the middle schools are very, very intense, very competitive, filled with a lot of Asians who put a lot of pressure on their kids, not only in academics, in extracurricular, everything. They need to shine, get into the best college, become the CEO of a company. So the aspirations that the parents have from their kids are very high, and the kids themselves are very ambitious, and the kids they are working around with are also super ambitious. So in such kind of an environment, a lot of times stress is experienced by the child, and these are some symptoms. They just can't enjoy anything. They're always in a rush. They barely sleep, or they sleep haphazardly. They are very impatient. They always feel there's too much workload. There are many such symptoms which are an indication that the child is very tensed, has too much workload, is involved in too many things, doesn't know how to have a downtime, just doesn't know how to relax and take it easy. In fact, a lot of times the parents have become like that. They don't know how to just sit quietly. Being on the phone is not being quiet. Many people, even when walking, they are walking with their phone in one hand. So we don't know how to relax, how to unwind, how to stop working. Seeing a phone is also work. Listening to something is also work. So there is no downtime at all. This root cause of stress is indeed there's just too much to do, and very little time. And the self-esteem is really based on a lot of external things. and those external things, how do I control them? How do I put everything in intact? How do I make all of that very successful? If I don't make it successful, then I am a failure. Lot of that mindset increases the stress. This child does not realize that they are a powerful being. They can manage the workload, that they should be able to get things organized. So, as a parent, if I look at that report, again, I need to analyze, when does this stress increase? Is it just during finals? Is it around certain friends? What is it that is triggering it? Is the child always experiencing stress? Because this can also lead to anxiety. And I need to check through a thermometer what is my emotional temperature. When the child is stressed, do I also get stressed? If the child comes and talks to me, just too much, I don't know what I'm going to do, I just can't take it. Do I also get, oh my gosh, yeah, I agree, man, they're just giving you too much. This is not fair. This should not happen to you. This is literally adding more stress. This is not helping. A lot of times, if we feel when we agree to their problems, then the problem will reduce. No, as a parent, we need to listen to it fully. But if I also get stressed, means I have also now caught up in the storm. So there is no lighthouse there at all. So who's going to get the child out of this storm? This does not mean I just foolishly say, no, no, it'll be all right or nothing. But really let the child vent out if they need to. Also let them not vent out for hours or for many minutes, but just listen and then say, hey, can you spread out your work? Can you give up things? Why are you doing this? We are not asking you to be on top of everything. It is okay. Your health is more important. Can I see that with full detachment? Can I see what is the real problem? Or do I get succumbed in? Right? It's very important for the parent to stay detached from what the child is experiencing. I have to check when the child is stressed, is feeling they can't handle this anymore. This is just too much. Do I also start feeling anxiety, doubts that my child might fail? Do I start doubting their abilities, that they won't be able to cope up? They shouldn't have signed up for so much. Do I also lose sleep? And I'm constantly thinking, what will happen to my child? What will happen to my child? So every time, whatever storm, we just took three examples here, very much prevalent in kids these days: impatience, anger, jealousy, stress, laziness. These are fear. All of these are very prevalent. Really, rather than scrutinizing the child completely, I also need to scrutinize, how am I staying? First of all, right? First, I need to stay healthy. Then I can try and understand what is going on in my child's mind. Completely understand the history, the duration, the prominence. And that way, we can really help our child. Typically, what we end up doing is we start really trying to fix the problem at the symptom level, telling them, hey, why are you being mean to your brother? You should not be talking to them like this. And, start putting those bandage fixes. Immediately try to speak up. The moment we see laziness in them, a little bit of carelessness in them, lecture. You need to realize the value of your time. How much are we investing? How hard we are working. So look at the symptom, immediately jump at it. We need to understand, are we spending our resources wisely? Indeed, as a parent, we are responsible for the child. so that they develop fully in all directions. But what is our responsibility and what is not? These are some questions we need to ask ourselves, and hoping through this course will leave you with some questions for you to investigate and decide what is really my responsibility and what is not. The most important thing is, can I really inspire my child to be active, calm, peaceful, carefree? If I am heated inside, we have to check as a parent, how am I? Generally, we have very good eyesight to look at others, all of us, but eyesight to look within. There was this very inspiring story which went like a mother always was trying very hard to make the child become into the most beautiful person. So she had lot of tips, lot of advices. The kid would listen to some and would not listen to others. And she would get very worked up that what else can I do? What else can I do? So that every tip of mine gets inculcated in the child. Very, very attached to all her ideas. That her main aim and purpose in life was to raise the kid into a most beautiful being. So she ended up going to a saint, and the saint had some good knowledge that the saint would share. So she would take her child also there, and the child would get completely intoxicated, would love listening to the saint. And she was amazed that the child, so young, could absorb so much from the saint. So she started seeing that whatever the saint said, this child would start following. So she got a great idea that, okay, all these tips, that I've been giving to my child, let me go and tell the saint. And the saint will go and tell the child, and the child will do it. Wow, such a fantastic idea. So the mother goes and talks to the saint, and she tells the saint, you know what, my child eats too much sugar, lot of sweets. And I've been trying to tell my child, don't eat so much sweet. It's not good for you. Desserts are not good for you. The child doesn't listen. And so she says, can you talk to my child today itself, please? And the saint says, you know what? I need some time. Give me a month and I will talk to your child. She said, month? Yeah, I need a month and I will talk. And the mother is very surprised, but she says, okay. And then after a month, the saint talks to the child and says, you know what? Sugar is very harmful. Too much of sugar is not good. You should cut down. Start your day with more fruits, vegetables, everything he says. The child agrees, and the mother is very happy. And she thanks the saint and says, wow, you've brought in such good changes in my child's life. I'm ever so grateful to you. But why did you ask me to wait for a month? And why didn't you tell him that day itself? The saint said, I was not practicing that. Till I don't practice, I can't preach. So I had to start being disciplined. I was not disciplined about desserts in my life. That was something that I was working on. And thanks for you wanting me to tell this to the child. I increased my own discipline and I became very, very careful. I cut down. I adopted the healthy lifestyle for a month. And because of that, my words will have power. And the kid might listen and inculcate that in their life. So we need to check many times all the advices we give to our kids. Are we really following them? If we want our kids to cut down on phones, we need to check. If we want them to cut the over socialization time, we need to check. We need to check. Otherwise, our words have no power at all. They are just empty arrows that will not hit the target at all. So, understanding why it is important to invest wisely, because a child does not come to us with a clean slate. That I, the parent, will write what I want my child to be. Many parents live a life like this. Their whole life is all about how can I make my child perfect. All their energy and resources goes there. Really, the deep down reason is identifying yourself as a parent. And how will a parent be called a good parent? When the child is good, when the child is great, parent automatically becomes great. So, unknowingly, because we want to be great, there is a lot of selfishness in that greatness. We start writing on the child's slate, thinking it is clean. I can write, I want you to be sweet, I want you to be super active, very focused. I want you to be like this, and like this. But the personality of the child, there are many, many layers. First is, the self itself, right? This comes a little later stage. But the environment, what are the vibrations around the world right now? It is all full of greed, restlessness, fear. Those are the vibrations for all the human souls. So that exists in the environment. Constant distraction, greedy, I want, never satisfied. These are the vibrations in the world. They have a huge impact. When we were growing up, the environment was not so bad at all. Few decades back, the needs of the people were very less, and the number of women working were less. Just one salary was sufficient. Now there are multiple reasons. Well, the women also want to say, like, we are also something. There are other reasons women need to work for a necessity, or the desires have increased that we need to, or maybe the economy is such that you need two salaries. So the environment is very disturbing. And that environment is writing on my child's slate. Experiences that the child has. They go through a variety. We don't know in school what all is going on. How insecure are they feeling? As a result, what kind of emotions are they imbibing? Then the influence of us, the parents, our words might be don't lie, but we might be left and right lying. We might be saying be peaceful, but we are constantly restless, constantly micromanaging, disturbed but asking others to not be disturbed. Our vibrations are traveling. The people that they are hanging out with, their friends, their fellow mates, the siblings, all of these have an impact. Last but not the least, the past life. That also has a huge impact on the child's experiences. What kind of emotions did the child bring when they came to the parent's womb? It brought it with it a personality. It didn't come up with a clean, empty personality. So we need to understand that there are so many layers, and we are saying, I will fix everything, I will write whatever I want. We are fighting a battle that cannot be won in this way. And that is why method is very, very important. Here at Brahma Kumaris, first of all, we are given detailed knowledge about every emotion. What are its symptoms? How do you identify what is the problem? What is the root cause? And then they also show us what method you might be using and why it has never worked. Last but not the least, self. The child itself chooses. As they are growing, they slowly choose how they want their personality to be, their emotions to be. Here we can certainly provide certain things at their disposal, together as a family. Read something inspiring, talk about some powerful things, share some powerful stories that inspire the child, that I will be like this, I will not be like this. So our vibrations, as we watch them, they do travel. They are everywhere in the home. The furniture of the home has our vibrations. It is emitting. The difference between the nature and the soul is soul creates, radiates, and absorbs the vibrations, whereas nature does not create vibrations. It only absorbs and then radiates it back. So I, the creator of these vibrations, is constantly radiating. And that same vibration is absorbed by me because every part of the house is filled with that vibration. So I need to be very clear about where am I investing my energy in. So indeed, the emotions have become very polluted. The climate is such that everything is polluted. The environment, the world consciousness, the vibrations, everything. There is a lot of pollution. So instead of really first thinking of what can I do to help my child, which indeed we should have that good thought, but what is the first thing I need to take care? I need to be what I am preaching. I need to at least contribute towards the climate of the house being green. Can I keep myself green? Many parents, just for simple things like keeping the house like environmentally green, don't waste paper or don't waste food and things like that, they will disturb the emotional climate of the house. At the cost of nature not becoming polluted, they will pollute the emotions. But if I pollute the emotions, the nature will anyways get polluted. The nature gets disturbed by my vibrations. So I'm thinking I'm saving paper, I'm saving food, I'm helping Mother Nature. But my disturbance causes a lot more pollution. We need to realize that. It doesn't mean I don't tell my kids not to waste food or save paper. But how do I say it? I need to learn that first. Am I staying green when I'm talking about environment being green? These are some simple things. So, a lot of questions here that we are just posing and also suggesting from Brahma Kumaris. First of all, most important, daily practice is very critical when the environment is very, very polluted, like it is. Today's world is not a normal world, it's very abnormal. It is very dramatic, chaotic, random. In such kind of an environment, if I say I will eat once in a while healthy food, I will once in a while exercise, I will not survive. So these practices are our spiritual umbrella that we need to wear every day. I have to remind myself, who am I? Who is the child? Behind the child, who is that being? We belong to the highest being, God Himself. See yourself and your child as equal in front of God. Remove the ego of being the parent. Dissolve it in your meditation. You'll become a fantastic actor will play the role of the parent very well. Ego causes a lot of disturbance in playing the role accurately. Remember that I come from the land of silence, that divinity, being angelic, is natural to me. This everyday practice, and for us, these are like some small tablets. We churn on them. How is the self a being of divinity? So every day we have a spiritual discourse at Brahma Kumaris. Many positive thoughts are shared. That thought inspire you. There are thoughts about how beautiful you already are, how beautiful every individual is, how beautiful our life can be, how fantastic God is. So as we keep reading this, giving this powerful food to the mind, the soul then starts churning, biting. What does it mean? What does it mean? And when it digests, it experiences the power. If you have not taken the Raj Yoga meditation course, highly recommend. And Sister Pallavi will be posting some links to our website. Please feel free to check out when the next course is available. Every day ignite and ask yourself this question, because we cross the boundary of what is our responsibility versus what is not. We need to ask ourselves, what is the easiest way I can teach my child? And they do say, right, actions are way louder than words. In fact, you don't even need to use your words. For me, I see it. You know, my parent, one of my parent was very much about keeping the house clean, always wanting to cook warm food. I didn't really agree with it that much when I was young, but I didn't get a lot of lectures about it either. But how those things, because I was watching, and maintain that faith, as long as you are doing things accurately, they will get it. It is our ego that I, the best parent, need to fix my child. My child is broken. I can fix it more. Then I will be the best parent, causes us to speak too much. So we need to check, what is my responsibility? Am I always maintaining faith in my child? This is so important every day to check. Ask yourself, did I give up on my child? Did I lose confidence and faith in my child? Did I only look at their weaknesses? As a parent, what is my responsibility? Am I full of strengths only? Don't I have weaknesses too? Why am I expecting my child to be full of strengths only when I myself have not achieved that goal? We focus too much on outside. In Brahma Kumaris, we are always taught answer is inside. Ignite, switch on the bulb inside. All the light will transmit. Others will also get their answers. We don't need to talk so much. Many times we also develop this ego that I, the parent, I have such a huge responsibility. I need to make my child's life good. Their relationships need to be good. Their grades need to be good. Their physical health needs to be good. Their emotional health needs to be good. I'm responsible for everything. I can make their life or I can break their life. I, the parent, need to be very careful. We have to ask ourselves, can we really control anybody's destiny? Does God control anybody's destiny? We are all his children. The children are going through a variety of things in life. Does God interfere? He's the highest on high. Why does he not interfere? Why am I interfering in everything? Do I have this ego that I can protect my child's life, keep it healthy, make his life? Or does everybody come with their own destiny? I'm just an instrument who's been given this chance to guide the child, to mentor the child, but their destiny is their own destiny. I cannot create it, nor can I destroy it. Their good deeds, their bad deeds, their deeds will decide the destiny. What is my thought process? If I don't change it at this level, outside level, I can try, okay, I'm going to be quiet, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to be bossy. But inside, I need to check. If I haven't cleaned inside, if I still feel I'm responsible for you, I need to fix you, then make as many resolves that I will not get angry, I will not control, I will not talk like this. Nothing works. That's why going a bit deeper is very important. And every day, in order to keep the emotional climate healthy, in order for me to stay emotionally immune, my immunity to stay strong, I need to every day check, how was my health? Did I expect something from my kid which I have never been able to deliver? Did I blame the child for my temper? Did I give up on the child? Am I fed up of the family life? Am I taking credit for the child's success? If somebody says your child is so nice, do I take the credit that, man, really my upbringing must be fantastic? Or do I say, great chance, I did get to provide this environment, but the child himself is beautiful. When we learn the art of not taking credit, we will not take the blame either. Everyone is individualistic. They come with their own set of experiences. All I can do is mentor and coach through my own life. But I can change someone? No, I can only inspire them. Change comes from them. So how can I take the credit of changing anyone? With that, I would like to pause and see if anybody has questions. We can go through them. Um, and then take it from there. So feel free to post your questions on chat or QA window, or also unmute yourself and ask your question. No questions today? Oh, there is one, I think. Yeah, 5 years are, I would say 5 years is still a very, very young age. And I think just having fun, just having fun is the best thing at that particular age. Certainly we can get them introduced to few different activities and encourage them to at least be part of 1 or 2 classes. But for the child, sometimes when the parents are too, what should we say, too pushy in some way or the other, very desperately want the child to develop something, our complete force causes them to be forceful on the other side as well. But having this faith that in times, every child is different, that the way they develop interest could be at different times.
Most important is, are they having fun with their friends, with their toys in the playground? As long as that is happening, everything else will fall in place. So it just takes time. Continue to just introduce them to small, small things without having this fear that, oh my gosh, she's not developing any interest. In time, the child will hopefully show something. Another question was, what should we do if the child is getting agitated after meeting a few friends? Um, it's important at this particular point to see, at that particular moment, to remain our calm and peace. And obviously, the child is getting violent and trying to hurt. Immediately pull that child out and everything. But when the child has calmed down, and for us to really examine, right, what is causing the anger in them, to talk to them peacefully at a later stage, and understand it. Most likely, it's also possible that the child is not getting enough sleep, is not, maybe has a lot of strong personality where everything that the child is doing needs to be followed. We need to observe this a bit more before we can come up with an answer. But most important is really to, I think these kind of disturbances do get, especially if the child is younger, they do get reduced when we put the blanket of love before they go to sleep. Like, really have a relaxed time with the child, 15-20 minutes, where you're not talking school, friends, nothing, but just some random musings which just show how interested you are in listening to what the child. And in the beginning it might be awkward, that we don't know what to talk, it is, but just give it some time, this quiet downtime. Even the teenagers enjoy this kind of undivided attention from the parent, where the parent is not asking anything. Yeah, again, reading is also kind of like an activity. It's not really a downtime, which is also good. But what I'm talking about is where the child feels really attended, where the parent doesn't have any opinion, any judgment, anything to offer, but just wants to listen to the child's heart out, what happened in the school, some random things. And if the child is not interacting too much, just ask few questions. Maybe for a few days the child doesn't, then maybe talk about your work, some funny thing that happened. Open up that conversation. Early morning, again, give that blanket of love. Show them how much they mean to you. And when you create this kind of love and peace around them, a lot of the irritation and agitation automatically stops. It's the hunger, that need for attention, that causes a lot of attention seeking tactics, which is agitation at times. With that, we are all out of time. If you have a minute or two, please stay back for a short meditation. I see myself clean, without any layers of the roles, of the expectations, of the experiences I have had. Completely naked of this world and its drama. I see myself in my real home as a point of light under the umbrella
my eternal parent, the highest on high, God. No story exists here. I'm caught up in the world of stories. I need downtime. I need to remain fixed, emotionally calm, and give up this desire of fixing the world. The most important is remain fixed in my spiritual awareness, glued to it. My light will cause many ships to sail in the right direction, find their own path, their own unique path. It doesn't have to be my path. Let me give up control and become humble. I own nothing. I am free. I'm a God's child. All are His children, His responsibility. I am free. Thank you all for joining me today. Hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining.